Hi. So today I'm going to make some more of these beautiful little pockets that you can add to your junk journals, or you could use to put some tags in. They're actually made out of envelopes, and I think they're really, really beautiful. So let's get started. If you don't know me, my name is Tanya, and I have a YouTube channel and website called TanyaCreativeJunkie. I love doing all things craft. So to begin today, you can use recycled envelopes. I've just got some envelopes that I've purchased from the shop. So I'm just closing these. Now you can make these any size you like. So I'm just going to roughly do it the size of the other ones. So we're just cutting that off. Might actually do it the other way, so we cut the, doesn't matter, we're going to cover it over anyway. So you could use these to make other little pockets if you wanted to. Pop them over there for now. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to just cut edges, and I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be exact. And then we can turn these down to that over. And that creates the flap so that then you can put things in. Okay, so next what we want to do is do the back. So providing a bit of strength, we're just looking for some papers that you might like to. I've just found, I'm not sure where the set came from, but quite like the colours. I have these other scraps here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need a piece for the back that goes inside, but doesn't need to go all the way to the bottom. I don't mind that. So I'm just going to cut that. So we just want to cut it a little bit fuller than the envelope so that it'll fit inside. And we want it to be about there. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. Now I think I might actually use another piece for another one. So I'm just going to and one more piece. Don't mind that. So I'll just use that as a bit of a template. But I'm not cutting exact straight lines. You can if you want to. Just the way that I do it. All right, so we'll put them aside. What I'm going to do first is I'm actually just going to add some texture to the envelopes. So I found this, it's quite old, and I'm just going to spray, and then what I'm going to do is just get a brush with some water. Just going to smudge it a bit. Trying to blend it in. Some blending effect. And then just let that dry. So I've dried those with the heat gun, and now I'm going to add some texture. So I found this quite nice stencil that I like. And I'm just going to use a little stamp pen. Been going through my supplies and I have found a lot of very old stamps or inks. They actually came from my mum. They're quite old, so I'm just going to use them. Just finding some part of the flower that I like, and I'm just going over like that. See that it adds now. I'm using a soft colour. You could use a really dark colour. See that subtle. Quite surprised that the little ink pads got ink left. So they're well over 10 years old. You know, I've chosen to use oranges and pinks in this project. I like the orange and the pink together. That's just pretty white. That's it. A baby white. So next I'm looking at maybe adding just some paper. Oops. I'm using a glue stick. So I'm thinking about the space and that I'm going to have like a picture and some words. So keeping that in mind, but it doesn't really determine where bits go. Or about just getting something down on the page. Now, quite like it's quite pretty. Don't mind the straight edge. But I might just glue that down and then cut it off later. Otherwise, I find that I cut it too short. I measure. Really thinking a lot, just finding bits of paper and putting them to the page. Yeah, just going to now. Got Sometimes on my projects I use medium because these envelopes are quite thin. And the glue stick works well. And it doesn't matter that you're covering up the layers underneath, just adds to that interest. What I think I'm going to do is I am going Right. Okay, so just want to soften down those edges. So just going to use another into the white. I like using pink. Of course, you don't need to use your fingers. You could use one of those blending. To be hands-on in my art. Stick down a bit. So while I'm doing this is I just want to get rid of the white. You could distress it before you placed it on the paper if you wanted to. Just trying to incorporate some pink. Thought this morning that I would devote some time to craft. I'm the kind of person that will say, oh no, I need to do chores. But allowing yourself to just have a couple of hours or however much time you can, just doing something that you love, I think just makes you appreciate your life and having gratitude that you can spend time doing something for yourself. Work is always going to be there. But I can now go about my day when I've done this and say that, well, I've done something for me. And it seems to make doing housework and things like that easier. So now, with those earlier bits that we cut out, we're going to add to the back. So we're doing it, we just make sure that it fits in there. You don't need to glue it all down, so all you really need to do is glue that and stick that like that. And then you can actually turn it over. Just cut that. So you've got that bit. And that's gone in like that. So make sure it fits. Make sure when you do it that it does reach the top. That. In there, like that. Give the back a bit of a white. Okay, so now we want to add something to these front. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert it in and then fold it over. So you're looking for a piece that is double the size. So I've got this piece. Just got to trim it to it. Now this is harder card, so it's just going to be harder, a bit harder to fold. So we want to put it in that way because then we're actually going to stick it to that and fold it over. So just need to glue that bit to there. Don't have to use card, can use just normal paper. Just wanted to have that contrast, that green. So then you'll fold it. Thing to find at the moment. I'm going to use a ruler and crease that. So that also strengthens that pocket bit there. So then actually what we want to do is glue this down. Because it's coloured, I'm going to just use a heavier glue than the glue. The glue stick would be enough. Stick down. I may need to come back later and just add some more glue into those pieces. So this one. Piece. Might be interesting. Eyeballing it. Straight. Right, so I want that way. Bring that down. Because that's just paper. It's quite easy to fold. Bring that down with the glue stick. You see there that one's coming up. It is, even using a tacky glue might be better. What can we use for this? So I'm virtually trying to do double that, just so that it goes in and stays inside, to just strengthen that a bit. You could do it longer if you wanted. Try and get it straight. So that's what we've got so far. So before I go and look at images and things like that, I'm just going to go around the edge. At this thing. I think this one is called Vintage Photo. Just making a set of these because eventually I would like to do like a fairy junk journal. So going with that theme, I'm going to put some images of some fairy. What I might do before I do that is I'm just going to add. So it's all about layers. So we've got the bottom layer, we've got some interest, we've put some paper on, another layer of interest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to just put some stamp imprints. So that just adds another layer of interest. So I've got this stamp. Actually, I might black ink. The ink pads just went green. So when I do stamping, to put it all in one spot, and enjoy moving the stamp around. So and I'm just going to use the same stamp, paper down so that you're not only using some of the stamp. Then you can use stamping as well to cross over so that it takes your eye away from the edge. But saying that, it can all change when you go in the object on it as well. But that's just another idea, that overlaying the stamp across the pieces of paper that you have put down can just take your eye away from the edge. See. Right. It's okay. I've got a circle. Okay, let's not get carried away. Okay. Again, baby white. So we've got the three. And what we're going to do now is find three images. These. Don't be afraid to get in there with your fingers. adding more interest in depth. So adding colour around the edges, all the corners, also just helps to add some depth. Quite interesting turning up to work with ink all over your hands. Okay, so line pitch. So I'm going through my book of fairy dust and paper dream, and bring out the size. I quite like that one. Definitely the luminaires. Thinking, what? Looks like that. Where's this one? Oh, she's beautiful. Will she fit on there? Yes, she will. Yeah, man. Flowers, I think. I don't think that'll be quite interesting. It's just anti-way looking through all this. Okay. So I'm just going to cut these out and I'll be back. Okay, so I've cut those out. Now, I'm not the greatest fussy cutter. I'm the first to admit that, but I do have something, a bit of a trick that helps me So what I'm going to do is going to get distressing ink, and I'm just going to go around edges. So we'll do that to take the whiteness, the paper away, and then I will just, where there's some white like in the hair or with the legs, I will just put some in. So this one, yes, I could go in and try and get that white out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Some days I get a bit pedantic and cut closer, but today, no. So this one, again, the same. So you're doing it to blend. Just to blend it and make it not so. You need to be a little bit careful with how rough you walk around edges, and just hold your fingers close to where you're brushing. It just helps to firm it up a bit, so there's a bit of white. And add white more. I'll cut this out. I don't know what this is going to look like. It looked interesting. We'll see what you do, what not. Going with a flower. Okay, I found some words. Wherever fairies dwell, joy follows. A nice saying. Okay, so now we to add these. Playing around with okay. Quite like that. So I'm going to leave them in place, otherwise I will forget. Let's put this one down first. If you've got a small area to glue stick, always put your glue stick in and move it away. That way you don't rip the picture. because I've done that before, and so just gently away. It just seems to. It's kind of interesting, those two. I like that. Hey. Well. Gently. Really enjoying making a collage book of fairy. Something about fairies, even when you're older, still magical. So just going to keep that little bit as well. This glue stick is really working well. So these envelope pouches could, anything you could use. Or they could just be random. Okay, let's look. I think they're gorgeous. Now, it's getting hot. Looks good there. Even that up. Another tip is you can just roll that over the top of the piece. Now, eyeballing it center. So just grab it and move along. Not really straight, so that's okay. Art, and it doesn't have to be. So let's just have a look at those. Oh, they're absolutely beautiful. Now, do we want to add some more depth? Might just it's actually too big. Smaller. This. the flow. Now, just need some white. I love adding white dots to project. Okay, just sets it off, completes it. I do find it tricky with my white paint. I seem to go through a lot of them. At the moment, this seems to be working. I'm not sure where I actually got it from. So there's no great thought for this. I just like to go in and add white. Center, quite dot. White. Looking for bases of just the same thing and adding white in there just to add, just that interest. I don't count my dots. If I do a few dots, I maybe do 3. Can get carried away, so to tell yourself to stop. Okay, next. And I will sometimes leave something sitting, and then I'll come back and your eye just goes, oh, well, your brain goes, just want to add something else, and then do, and that's okay. Better take dots. So again, I guess how I'm looking at it is there's this big space here, and it adds some interest. Over here. Maybe. And stop. There's not this one. happy with that. Now I always have love hearts. Tiny love heart in each one of these. There. I never had that thought at the beginning, but now I feel like that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm going to do. But there you have it. Using envelopes to create envelope pouches. Like I said, add them to a journal book. Could put labels in there. Anything. Possibilities are endless. I put them on there, and these ones I put like that. So they're all different, but I think you'll agree they're absolutely beautiful. And they look so pretty with the pinks and the oranges. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please hit like and subscribe. It just helps my videos get out there to more people. And I really hope you have fun creating these, and enjoy the process. Happy crafting. Take care. Bye. So if you've stayed this long, good on you, because you've got a bonus. I was cleaning up and I found these, and like I said before, you can go away and then just come back, and I really think I want to add some of these. Now, these diffuse, I think they are. Just this is a baby. Really, I'm not sure which one. Oh, birthday baby. Anyway, I saw these cute little flowers, and I just actually think they're really cute. And I can get them all. I'm going to add them. Foolish. Great. Go apart. Very hard to get off. I saw these in this rub on. Wish I had. Oh, flowers. Well, there you go. Like I said, you can go away and come back, and I might find some more little things I can stick on. Okay, happy crafting. Bye.